Good morning. Can we go back? More. Maybe we can. I think it's so fast.
Too fast. Yeah.
Too fast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me and welcome to this LinkedIn, maybe a little bit faster, live stream for the launch of our 2025 State of the Industry Report, live from the Kind Motion Pictures Studios here in Austin, Texas. A little bit faster. A couple of quick housekeeping items before we get started. We have reserved time for questions at the end, so please submit them in the comments field. I also encourage you to provide your thoughts in the comments, maybe a little bit faster, as we'll be taking this input to be used in future content and events. Finally, the report will be ready for download at the completion of this webinar. You will find it under the blog section of our website at imasons.org. That's imasons.org. My name is Santiago Suinaga. I am the CEO of Infrastructure Masons, or as our members call it, iMasons. A big welcome to our community members, partners, advisory council, and board members. I also welcome those of you who are joining our event for the first time. A little bit faster. Infrastructure Masons is a global nonprofit professional association for the digital infrastructure industry. Founded in 2016, the organization has united more than 6,000 professionals representing $1.5 trillion of digital infrastructure projects across 130 countries. This emphasizes the importance of our community in the largest and fastest growth in the history of our industry. We unite the builders of the digital age. We champion the idea that people drive innovation, and innovation drives efficiency. I have been in the digital infrastructure industry for more than 20 years, and iMason since 2018, joined the iMasons Advisory Council in 2020, and stepped into the iMason CEO role in July 2024. We're at an important point in time that history will remember as the rise of AI. Now, let's dig into the report. Today is with great pride and pleasure to introduce you to the second annual iMason State of the Industry, outlining the key findings for 2025. The current interest in the digital infrastructure industry is unprecedented. For decades, our industry was the unseen hero that enabled the digital world to function. This changed in recent months. Data centers and artificial intelligence, or AI, entered the conversation on the morning news and in the public square, opening a window onto the dynamics of challenges of an industry that is critical and essential to people as the infrastructure that provides electricity and water. This report is unique because it provides a holistic view of the industry from different angles and perspectives of the stakeholders within the industry, including hyperscalers, end users, data center engineering and construction, data center developers and operators, equipment manufacturers, the hardware, software, and connectivity that supports enterprise applications, cloud and AI platforms, investors, and researchers. Today, I am going to share the details on the challenges they are facing and the trends they are seeing that led to the conclusions I'll be sharing today. Over the last year, we engaged with over 500 contributors across 50 countries to gather their input. This included one-on-one conversations with owners of some of the largest digital infrastructure platforms in the world, member meetings, advisory council sessions, and collaboration workshops with our strategic partners. In accordance with iMason's values, all content was anonymized except where noted. The content gathered from members was then synthesized into this publication. I want to personally thank all of our members who extended their trust to share details with us on what they are facing and the trends that have led to the conclusions I'll be sharing with you today. This data gathering approach provides a unique perspective about the digital infrastructure industry that's difficult to achieve in any other forum. It surfaces the industry's biggest challenges to responsible and sustainable growth and provides insights into trends and conditions in established and emerging markets. The report is also intended to help economic development officers and policymakers facilitate responsible and sustainable digital infrastructure development in their jurisdictions. Investors make informed decisions about their capital deployments. Civic leaders and community members understand the critical role of the digital infrastructure industry in the modern economy and in their communities, and job seekers investigate viable career opportunities in a growing industry that is building the digital future. The digital infrastructure industry supports and impacts almost every aspect of our daily lives in modern society. If you're watching this live stream today, you're relying on and driving demand for digital infrastructure. Every icon you touch on your mobile device is supported by digital infrastructure and data centers. Think for a second what a day in your life looks like and the hundreds or thousands of transactions and interactions you perform using digital and mobile devices connected to the internet. Some people use digital infrastructure almost every single minute, every day. They wear smartwatches and track their vitals while they sleep. This is an industry that keeps the world functioning and connected 24/7, from chatting and messaging with colleagues, friends, and family, to banking transaction at almost every business. From playing with online games to emergency response services for an ambulance or a fire truck to be dispatched. From working or using online tools for education or traveling or commuting, think about that now the majority of methods of transportation rely now on digital infrastructure. From watching your favorite movies and shows on your streaming app at home, to the patients receiving medical treatment at hospitals. And now, AI is impacting all those aspects at a greater level and changing the way we interact forever with expected greater efficiencies. More than anything else, the digital infrastructure industry today is grappling with the impact of AI-fueled growth. This year's report focuses on how the demand for AI is shaping the growth of the digital infrastructure industry. Capacities across all components of digital infrastructure that are needed for people and machines to interact. These include data centers, power supplies, and networking equipment, such as cell towers, terrestrial and subsea fiber optic cables, as well as hardware, software, and digital devices. The report presents an update on the size of the industry, including stats, numbers, and metrics of the deployed capacity, including capacity currently under construction and in the developed pipeline, globally, and with all the details of the different regions, including Americas, Asia Pacific, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. The integration of AI into the fabric of the modern world is a boon to the digital infrastructure industry. That's because data centers and associated equipment are the picks and shovels of the AI gold rush that many iMasons and other industry observers see as a multi-trillion-dollar investment opportunity. AI is a major revolution. Generative and agentic AI hold promise to transform society. Today, experts are developing the use cases that will create economic efficiencies for increasing our bandwidth capacity to focus on strategic activities, spending more time with our loved ones, or pursue our hobbies. The AI revolutions impacts every field. For example, in healthcare, there are some advancements in technologies with the potential to cure cancer. AI, as with any new technology, brings also some concerns about the jobs that could be lost or replaced. However, the AI industry will also create thousands of new jobs. During the transitions of the different industrial revolutions, there were as well concerns about the jobs that the first machine replaced. But no one knew about the thousands of new jobs needed in factories, machinery, the car industry, transportation, among others. Think for a moment about the thousands of jobs today that 20 or 30 years ago didn't exist. The entire workforce between 20 to 40 years old today has access to jobs that didn't exist when they were babies. From internet commerce to coding, from YouTube and social media influencers to data center engineering careers. Most of the AI developments today have been focused on Gen AI training, but the real use cases and the returns on investments are on the inference side. The report covers a forecast of AI training trends on data center infrastructure as well as the ongoing transition into inference. Today, large language model training represents 90% of global AI workloads, which is concentrated in AI data centers with hundreds of megawatts to more than a gigawatt of power capacity. Within the next 5 years, the ratio is predicted to flip. 90% of AI consumption will be for inference. That is why the expansion from AI module training to inference is a driving force of conversations among the iMasons about the digital future. The iMasons community identified 4 challenges in 2024 that we call the 4 Ps in the previous report. Now, we're introducing a 5th P to the industry's challenges, and all are compounded and amplified by AI. They are power, perception, people, planet, and the 5th P is protection, data protection. So let's talk about power. Power is the top challenge. As data centers rely heavily on access to increase electric power to meet the accelerating demand for digital services, as it was in 2024, power remains the top of mind challenge for continued growth of digital infrastructure industry. The 2025 report explores how the AI boom exacerbates the power challenge. The report navigates into the power consumption by data center, which could represent around 4% globally by 2030, and as much as 12% in the US by 2028. This power challenge and constrained capacities are driving efficiency and innovation. Potential long-term, medium-term, and immediate solutions are also discussed, such as the long-term prospects for nuclear, including SMRs, small modular reactors, with the advantages, challenges, safety concerns, technology advances, and the mystification of nuclear energy. The report also discusses medium and short-term solutions to the power challenges, including renewables plus storage, such as concentrated solar power, as well as wind, enhanced geothermal, and hydrogen fuel cells. It seems that natural gas is emerging as the most obvious choice to bridge the power, as power transmission and distribution infrastructure is built and upgraded to serve data centers, and new power generation solutions evolve and scale. The power section is one of the most comprehensive sections of the report. I encourage the audience to read it and explore further. Well, now it's time for perception. The need to earn a positive public perception of the digital infrastructure industry in communities, a little bit faster, please, where digital infrastructure is located, accelerated up the list as top priority for the digital infrastructure industry. The AI boom and the power challenge have increased public awareness of digital infrastructure industry, which brings increased scrutiny and pushback that threaten to throttle growth. The report discusses initiatives to earn a positive perception for the industry. For example, an industry work group called the iMason Social Accord is actively developing a framework, community, engagement guidebook, and agreement that commits the digital infrastructure industry to achieve economic, social, and ecological balance with the communities where data centers are built and operated. Well, on the people challenge, the shortage of skilled people to build, operate, and maintain digital infrastructure remains a challenge as industry growth continues to outpace the industry's ability to recruit, train, and retain people. The report focuses on replicable success stories to build a workforce for the digital future. And the 4P is the planet. As noted in the 2024 report, without a deliberative focus on decarbonization in development decisions, the industry's carbon footprint will balloon and make net zero commitments unachievable. iMasons continue to view growth at all costs as unacceptable and kept protecting the planet as top priority in the 2025 updated report. Regulations such as the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission's Climate Disclosure Rule and the European Union's Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive are expected to compel many members of the digital infrastructure industry to keep the planet a top priority as they continue to grow the economy. Optimism about the digital infrastructure industry's ability to protect the planet rests in the industry's spirit of innovation. For example, an iMason's delegation to Dubai and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in early April visited large-scale projects with a combination of solar during the day, wind during the night, and green hydrogen energy storage for turbines when the sun doesn't shine or the wind doesn't blow. This is an important advance for 24/7 renewables on the net zero journey. I participated in that and I was able to witness. Industry initiatives such as the iMason's Climate Accord continue to gain traction. To date, the Accord has united the largest portfolio owners in the digital infrastructure industry, representing more than 8 trillion in combined market capitalization on a common goal of carbon reduction. This year, the Climate Accord launched a maturity model or framework that enables members to measure progress in carbon reduction across materials, equipment, and power, and share best practices with industry peers. The protection, the 5 P's protection of data, that digital infrastructure processes, stores, and transmit, emerge as a challenge and opportunity for the distribution of digital infrastructure around the world. The 2025 report explores how the push and pull for data protection trends impacts the growth of the digital infrastructure industry, including where data centers are located to train AI modules. Governments want digital infrastructure within their jurisdictions to protect their sovereign data for reasons of national security and economic competitiveness. Hyperscalers require digital infrastructure located within data safe harbors, wherever cost-competitive, scalable, and abundant clear power is available to train next-generation AI models. Enterprises, research, organizations, and citizens want to fine-tune and use AI models with the data and digital infrastructure that offers data protection and isolation from the public cloud. These trends are an accelerant to the growth of the digital infrastructure industry. According to iMasons around the world, The report explores the concept of data safe harbors and data embassies to address the data protection concerns. For example, the report was instrumental for the iMason's delegation of hyperscalers visit to Dubai and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia just recently with government ministers about the data protection earlier this month. Data protection concepts in the report help frame these conversations, and those conversations are helping inform a policy agenda. This is an example of how the report can be used to facilitate the business and policy decisions that will shape the digital future. Okay, now it's time for the market insights section. The market insights section of the report covers market sizes, trends, and insights from around the world and per region. I want to give special thanks to Data Center Hawk, a market intelligence platform that provides data and insights on a global data center real estate. DCByte, a data center market intelligence firm, and the global real estate investment firms CBRE and JLL. Their data insights and reports inform the information presented here. The report outlines sizes and capacities in 4 categories: active or commissioned capacity, under construction, development pipeline, and the aggregate total. So, let's start first with global. The global capacity of hyperscale, colocation, and enterprise data centers that are active, under construction, and in the development pipeline exceeds 205 gigawatts. More than 500 gigawatts of that capacity is active. Around 15 gigawatts is under construction, and at least 135 gigawatts is on the future development pipeline. In the 12 months since our last year report was released, active capacity is up more than 60%, under construction capacity is up nearly 50%, and pipeline capacity is more than 160%. After analyzing these numbers, the current active capacity of 55 gigawatts is expected to grow 3x or even 4x in the next 5 to 7 years. Take into consideration that the numbers in the development pipeline category are an indicator of long-term market growth trends. Whether and when this capacity will be built is still uncertain. Some capacity may represent multiple projects chasing the same client or demand, for example. So, let's go into the Americas. Most of the global capacity and the expected growth is in the Americas, with 35 gigawatts and a forecast to reach 135 gigawatts over the next years. The majority of this capacity is being deployed in the United States. Vacancy rates across the Americas are on an average of 5% or 2.6% if we consider only the United States. The report explores the largest established markets from Northern Virginia, Dallas, Phoenix, Chicago, Atlanta, to second-tier emerging markets within the US, like Ohio, West Texas, Reno, Charlotte, San Antonio, and North Dakota, to the rest of the relevant markets in Canada and Latin America, like Brazil, Chile, Mexico, and Colombia. Now let's jump into the APAC region. Asia Pacific represents the second largest region. There is more than 10 gigawatts of active hyperscale, colocation, and enterprise data center capacity in the region. About 2.5 gigawatts are under construction, and around 25 gigawatts are in the development pipeline. The vacancy rate is 7%. The region is vast and industrious, with pockets of population density and power constraints that presents opportunities and risks for the accelerated growth of the digital infrastructure. The report explores the dynamic of the well-established markets in Singapore, Johor, Tokyo, Sydney, Mumbai, and other emerging markets such as Jakarta, Seoul, the Philippines, and others. The EMEA region is nearly 10 gigawatts of active hyperscale colocation and enterprise data centers capacity across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. As much as 2.5 gigawatts of capacity is under construction, and potentially more than 20 gigawatts of capacity is in the development pipeline. Vacancy rates are around 2.6% in Europe and 5%. Can we slow down a little bit? And can go back. The vacancy rate is around 10% in Africa, where capacity typically takes longer to fill than in established market. The report covers and explores the dynamics of the well-established markets of the famous FLAP-D region that includes Frankfurt, London, Amsterdam, Paris, Dublin, and the move to second-tier markets with high growth on the Iberian Peninsula, including Spain and Portugal, along with Milan, Zurich, and Greece. The Middle East represents a high potential market, with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates vying to become a global AI hub with access to clean energy and renewables. The report also covers the dynamics on the African markets of South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria. Okay, let's start to wrap up. As I shared at the start of this live stream, digital infrastructure is a new utility, a necessity to participate in the modern world, just like running water and electricity. It is the great equalizer that enables anyone, anywhere, to participate in the digital economy. As demand for digital services triples and potentially quadruples the capacity over the next decade, we must build digital infrastructure that integrates with every community in an economic, socially, and ecologically responsible and sustainable way. To achieve this goal, we must collaborate with local government and civic leaders, businesses and investors, and utility and service providers to ensure that our presence in every community creates jobs, improves neighborhoods, promotes equality, and helps restore ecosystem balance. This is true for communities that are established data center hubs and communities poised to gain their first digital infrastructure development. I truly believe our industry has a responsibility to think holistically about how we approach the growth of digital infrastructure to enable everyone to participate in the digital age. I hope this live stream has provided new insights and items to think about in your role, whether inside or outside of the digital infrastructure industry. This session is the start of an iMason's podcast series around the concepts and chapters of the report that will be announced over the next few days. Okay, it's time for a Q&A. Let's see. Okay, let's respond some of the audience questions. Please send your questions using the Q&A bar. Okay, here, right? Here they come. Oh, there are so many. Okay, first question. How do you see the timeline for AI inference overtaking AI training in terms of infrastructure demand? You know, based on the insights from the report, we anticipate that within the next 5 or so years, inference workloads will dominate approximately 90% of AI consumption because today largely weighted towards training. This shift will dramatically change the infrastructure needs, moving from centralized, massive training hubs to more distributed and lower latency inference environments across global markets. Okay, let's go to another question. What actions can local governments take to better support sustainable digital infrastructure development? You know, local governments can play a critical role, you know, streamline permitting processes, investing in grid transmission upgrades, promoting access to clean energy, fostering strong community engagement frameworks. In fact, the iMason Social Accord and our community engagement initiatives offer guideposts to align industry growth with, remember, an economic, social, and ecological goals for every region. So potentially that's helpful on that one. Let's go to the third question. Do you know the power constraint will slow down developments? You know, the industry is always innovating, especially nowadays, aggressively. There are some solutions that could integrate renewables, storage, optimizing, energy efficiency, and there's other solutions like natural gas. I think on the longer term, there are some emerging technologies such as the small modular reactors, geothermal, of course, and also some advances on green hydrogen that are being explored and piloted for some companies. Every time we have a constraint, innovation always brings the answer. Okay, I think we have time for 2 more questions. Let's go to this one. What are some of the new types of jobs being created in the digital infrastructure sector due to AI growth? AI is creating a wide range of new opportunities. As mentioned before, from data center design and AI model operation specialists to cybersecurity experts, because AI will require more cyber, AI infrastructure engineers, also on the sustainability side, analysts, some community engagement professionals. Overall, the sector is rapidly evolving and it's generating careers that will require both the technical expertise and skills in areas like environmental, stewardship, and public relations. Now, we have time for only 1 more question. The rest will be answered in our blog later on. So let's take this one. How can individuals who are not currently in the industry get involved with infrastructure masons or pursue opportunities in this field? Well, we always welcome everyone, whether you're from a technical background, policy, finance, or even other fields. A best way to start is you can download the report, joining iMasons as a member, and participate in our regional and global initiatives, and contributing to working groups like the ones we went through, the iMason Social Accord or the Climate Accord, the different committees. The iMasons platform is built to connect and empower professionals across all facets of the digital infrastructure ecosystem. Well, that's all for the questions. Let's close this webinar. As we close, I want to give a special thank to the iMasons board and to the iMasons partner companies who make all what we do at iMasons possible. Your contribution and support is invaluable to our combined success. Don't forget to download the report from our website. Read through the chapters, and most important, take action and join us run initiatives in one of the fastest growing industry that is impacting the world in the natural evolution of the humankind, in the progress of technology, innovation, and efficiency. I encourage you to learn from the insights and trends outlined in this report and use them to take informed action. The strength of our industry lies in its collective engagement and collaboration. Whether you are a long-time iMasons member, new to the organization, an investor, industry observer, government, stakeholder, or community member, your involvement is essential. Join discussions, contribute your expertise, and help shape the digital future. Thank you for being part of this journey. I look forward to seeing you on our next interaction as our community continues to deliver a greater digital future for all. Thank you very much. I think that's the sweet spot on the face, because he was like kind of... Thank you.